What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is October the 10th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off with data, big one for today is going to be the Michigan consumer sentiment coming out shortly after the bell at 9 a.m. Forecast for that is 54. As you can kind of see, it has been slowly going down over the last couple of reports, so not necessarily the best, but if it does come in, let's say at 55 or above, that could be a nice positive sentiment boost to the broader market. Although the market does seem to be moving up into kind of leading into that data. Dow is up 0.15, S&P up 0.17, NASDAQ up 0.19. Nothing overly crazy for volume or even just news for this morning. So clearly people are just waiting for the next big catalyst. So we'll have to wait and see how that all does play out. One thing to take note of though, I've been really monitoring to see kind of rotations, and ultimately last week, or I guess up until October the 9th, $19.84 billion did leave both the crypto and equity markets to go back into money markets, putting it at a grand total of 7.39 trillion. So there is still a lot of fear in the broader market, regrettably. So kind of interesting. Let me know your general thoughts on that. This, of course, does match with just the lower volume that we've been encountering in many stocks. But getting right to it, SoFi. SoFi is up slightly, 0.63%. Nothing for news, no SEC filings. A lot of individuals are still speculating on kind of S&P inclusion going to be announced soon. So I think possibly that could be some level of FOMO that's happening with SoFi, as what we have seen for a very long time with Robinhood. But shorts, 9.37% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 110 million shares. So shorts did return quite a lot yesterday, but exchanges did report the true amount of shares. So that's where a lot of platforms are adjusting it. One point to really watch for today, with that 2860, it is trading right above this R2. So 2858 will be that key kind of support level and pivot point that you really want to watch for SoFi to close above. In reality, I think it will come down to the Michigan consumer sentiment, whether SoFi closes above or below that, or the broader market kind of moves higher or lower. But if it is able to stay above that 2858, then you can anticipate the $30 range to be hit sooner rather than later. But moving on from here, NIO is down slightly, 0.74%. They've been putting out some okay news, but nothing like concrete that you need to go out and buy NIO because of it. So last thing that did come out, it looks like NIO has reshuffled its autonomous driving division. So this is going to be done throughout the year and also first quarter of next year. So not necessarily the best news, but it's good to see that they're trying to restructure, hopefully save some money that way as well. But 12.2% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 168.78 million shares overall being shorted. So anticipate shorts to be fairly active, because on a side note, both SoFi and NIO do get somewhat manipulated by shorts in some cases, and a lot of that has to do with just the options. So what I mean by that is quickly popping over here. You can kind of see this is open door, so you guys don't need open door. But in SoFi's case, for the open interest, you have some pretty big walls somewhat. So at that $28 strike price, you have 16,000. At the 28.50 you have 14,000, and then at the 29 you have 15,000. In NIO's case, just to give you a quick overview of that one as well while I am here. So you do have at the 750 15,000, at the 8 29,000, and then at the 7,000. So you won't see any manipulation for it to be sub 7, but the key point for NIO will be that 750. Aside from all of that though, right now with that 742, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 712 will be a strong support, 754 followed by 796 will be the next strong target / resistance point. So kind of just watch for that. Moving on from here, ticker is WAI, so Top King Win Limited. So pretty interesting name. It is up 28.43%, although it is down 99.19% over the last 1 year. But the news that did come out that's causing it to move higher is this. So saying that they did get official confirmation on October the 7th that they are now compliant again with the minimum bid price rule. So not the best news in my opinion. Looking here, they did a reverse stock split, a 1-for-25 September the 8th. They also did one May the 5th of this year. So they're not necessarily on the best track record at the end of the day. And so tread cautiously with this one, in my opinion. It's not heavily shorted, so 3.69% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 60,000 shares. Right now, if you are wanting to trade it for whatever reason with a 390, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 363 is going to be a strong support. 465 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. I didn't actually look this one up on dilution tracker because, as I've shared with you in the past, if a stock is down about 99% and I don't see any news, any SEC filings, or any justified reasons for anything to go higher, I instantly pop over to dilutiontracker.com just to see their convertibles. And in my opinion, just based on this, I would say that they have a lot of convertible debt without actually confirming that. But yeah, so tread cautiously with this one. You could see the momentum drop quite significantly. And then speaking of that, ticker SGBX is getting a lot of volume. So yesterday it went down 13.6%, and this morning it is up 85.49%. No news, no SEC filings. So as I mentioned, quickly pop over and you see a lot of convertible notes, insane amount. So you see a lot of warrants, massive amount of convertibles, and yeah, this is, and convertible notes as well. This is crazy stuff. So this stock is massively diluting, and a lot of it is just because of the terms of the conversions. So they usually use VWAP, so every time it's kind of dropping and it's been stagnant for about 5 days, this is how, if they do convert, you see actual pops higher. So every kind of note is different, so that's why you need to read through the actual agreement and kind of the prices that's listed. But this stock, definitely, you can ride the wave. I've mentioned this in the past. If you're an experienced trader, you can easily make some money on these types of pops, but tread very cautiously, because when the momentum stops, you could get stuck, and you don't get stuck owning a stock that's down 99.56%. So that's just my opinion, of course. So this one, tread cautiously. As far as shorts, 11.82% of the free float is being shorted. Works to be 56,000 shares. Although when a stock is diluting significantly, I tend not to really pay attention to this, only because this right here, that 11.82%, is very dependent on the actual outstanding shares being correct. So if there's dilution occurring, then that's wrong, to be fully honest. But with it right now at 619, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 563 and then 671 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So I think in general, both of the two stocks, so this one, WAI and SGBX, you can make some good money on, but tread cautiously, don't get stuck holding it. And then last but not least, ticker YDDL. So this one is a new IPO, getting a lot of volume. Yesterday it went up 8.4%. This morning it's going up 50.18%. So we are back, it looks like. So whenever you see IPOs go up like crazy, that means people's appetite for risk is on the table. But again, tread cautiously. Regarding shorts, since it's a new IPO, Ortex doesn't have any information on it just yet. But aside from that though, also with it being a new IPO, we don't have any of the key fib levels. So just watch for a lot of the hold numbers. So right now with it at 790, just watch for like 750, $7 to be good support levels. And then flip side, $8, and then most likely $8.50 as kind of next strong target and pivot points. So tread cautiously with all these stocks, but if you are wanting to make some good money, you can easily do so. So day trade and everything else accordingly. Hopefully everyone has a good upcoming weekend. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.